You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
That'll be script reads me.
Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and one-sided news stories
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Yo, we trained actors, motherfucker.
Hey, good afternoon, Central and East. Good morning, West. Hey, welcome to the new. I'm your host, Randy Pearl. Man, and happy Motivated Monday. Yes, Motivated Monday. I'm not too motivated today. There's a lot going on already. But I'm here. I'm with you all because I love you. I hope you love me back. But no, on a serious tip. Not a whole lot going on this weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend, by the way. And I would just say that, yeah, people are. I'm not gonna say it. Y'all already know where I'm going with this. But anyways. My son is home for the weekend. Get ready to take him back to school here in about shortly after the show. But I do have another conference call. I kind of overlap myself today. So, but anyways, yeah, he came home to try to finagle a car out of us. Kids, tell you, spoiled brats. Anyways, but the Democrats in Texas here, they almost pulled a fast one. They tried. The special congressional race in District 6 there, up in northern Texas, went to a runoff between two Republicans. The Democrats flooded the field with candidates in hopes that somebody was going to get selected and they'll be able to take a congressional seat. But that didn't pan out in their favor. And so now it's boiled down to like I said, two Republicans, Representative Susan Wright, and State Representative Jake Ellzey. Now, the interesting backstory to these two candidates is that Miss Wright, her husband previously had the seat, but he passed away to coronavirus last year, and she was appointed to take over his seat. And so President Trump came out and endorsed her, and so she kind of like just took off in the polls. And now she's the top contender for the seat against State Rep Jake Ellzey. Can't get his name for some reason. So, but anyways, so there are a couple of congressional GOP members that are sparring about the selection of who should, or about who should get, elected. And this is between I'll leave the names out, but the backstory is this: because Trump endorsed Susan Wright, this created a affirmation that the American people, Republicans in general, are more concerned with loyalty to Trump and America First agenda versus the traditional Republican platform. Now, today's theme is about the state of the GOP, and this is kind of a segue into what I'm going to lay out throughout this show today. And I will preface with also that today's show will be kind of short because, like I said, I do have competing events coming up throughout the afternoon. But anyways, I'm going to get right into it. So, but that's the backstory with this one right now. And it looks like there is a great possibility that Susan Wright will go on to win in the runoff election. So we'll see. We'll be kind of keeping track of that. Now, if she does win, this brings the balance of power in the Congress down to even closer margins. And I believe there is one or two more races out there. There are still special elections that are going on. I want to say it's Missouri, and I want to say Iowa. But that's that. So, but the idea that Republicans are only going to be able to win seats going forward is through embracing the Trumpism, that's what I'm going to call it, Trumpism, and the America First agenda. I will contend, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, I'm going to contend and say that I actually agree with that sentiment. Given the track record, given the trend right now, that those candidates that are, I guess you could say, on the Trump train are winning. And it's not a surprise, and it's not it's not a surprise that this is occurring, because when Trump began running in 2015 technically, when he began running in 2015, he changed the paradigm mindset of the American people with the America First agenda, with Making America Great Again agenda, and with historic agenda items such as the border wall, such as jobs, bringing jobs back to the United States, the tax cuts, and everything else. So this resonated. All these things resonated with the American people, and subsequent candidates that have ran on that platform have won. I think there's maybe been one or two that did not win, but they probably also, if you look at the numbers, they also ran in a Democratic stronghold. But all in all, for those that have ran in competitive districts, they ended up winning based on the Trump platform. So I think moving forward, if we're looking at how the GOP needs to sustain itself, there may be some prudence there, some credence that adopting the Trumpism platform to a large degree would be beneficial and key for winning key election races across the United States. Folks, we'll be right back. We're going to jump to a quick commercial break. Keep it locked right here.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com. You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Hey, welcome back. So, what you just saw there is a campaign that tecntv.com, go there, is launching. We began this campaign last week, actually, but I want to express and beg, yes, I'm begging, that you go to tecntv.com, either through slimbrowser.net, because Google and Chrome, they're and Windows even, they're blocking or giving a warning to our website as being dangerous content. So I ask you, go to www.tecntv.com and select a show or watch all the shows for the whole week and give us your feedback as to what you like, what you dislike, what you think, and everything else. And then we will go from there and make adjustments accordingly. So, once again, tecntv.com. And I don't know why people are calling me during the show. They know I'm doing a show right now, and they're calling me. But yes, please go to www.tecntv.com and pick a show or watch all of the shows for the whole week. Share the link with your friends. Let them know, hey, here is an alternative platform that brings news, stories, events from around the world, because we also have Dave McQuell and Rose Ajabo out of Africa and Nigeria. They bring great content as well. So please, once again, go to www.tecntv.com. Like, follow all our pages, channels, and everything else on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute. I'm done with my advertising now. But yes, so back to the state of the GOP. This weekend, Mitt Romney was booed at his state GOP convention this weekend. Now, a lot of people are probably saying, so what? This is key, ladies and gentlemen. This is key. Mitt Romney survived a censure vote, 798 to 711, to not censor him, but they're also talking of not supporting his re-election run. Now, he responded back with saying, hey, you can boo me all you want, but I've been a Republican for all these years. My father was a Republican. He was governor of Michigan, blah, blah, blah. And so, or Michigan or Wisconsin, one of the two. But he's pitching a case that because of the personal beef between him and President Trump, that he can withstand that ridicule and that criticism because of the simple fact that his tenureship as a Republican. Ladies and gentlemen, going back to what I said in the last segment, the Republican Party may need to start looking and understanding this paradigm shift that's taking place in America under the Trumpism platform. If you're walking into your state convention and you are being booed because you voted to impeach the President of the United States, who was popular amongst your constituents, you might want to find yourself a new job, because you're technically, well, I should say, you're just out of touch with the sentiment of your constituencies. Now, I understand the mindset or the mind frame to vote your conscience, to go with what your gut tells you, but in his instance, in his case, he's bringing a more personal flavor to it versus, hey, I just feel like this guy did something wrong type of thing. It's, I just don't like him. I don't like his tweets. I don't like what he says and everything. So it's all personal. It's personalized hatred for Donald Trump. Now, it could be because he too ran for president and he's salty at the fact that he didn't win. Yes, he got the GOP nomination, but he didn't win the presidency over Barack Obama in 2012. Could be that. Here this guy come along 4 years later after Sky Blue and he wins the presidency, and I've been a Republican, I've been doing things, I've been out in the spotlight way longer than this guy. Who does he think he is? I hate him. It could be that. Or it could be a very legitimate, I don't like the way he's representing my party, which is not your party, but okay. And it kind of gives some credence also to the Lincoln Project that was formed in 2018. I want to say it was around 2018, 2019. The Lincoln Project was a band of Republicans who were anti-Trump, who launched anti-Trump campaigns leading into the 2020 election. And we saw just recently, in the last few months, how the Lincoln Project has been unraveled with corruption and scandals and filling on little boys and everything else. We saw how that played out. So, folks, I'm telling you, pay attention to how America, red America, is shifting focus into looking at, hey, Trump was onto something here, and we're on that bandwagon now, not the traditional Republican platform. Although the tenets are still there, but the way to, I guess you could say, approach it, the way to execute it, has shifted dramatically in the last 4 years. And I will tell you that a lot of the old school Republicans, a lot of the establishment Republicans, they're fretting right now because they don't know how to really respond to this. For example, Liz Cheney, Representative Liz Cheney. She's under constant fire right now from Donald Trump because of her, I'm not going to say rhetoric, her outspokenness about the president, the former president. And you see now the House leadership is looking at her like, hey, we might have to strip you of your committees, your leadership, because you're tripping right now. You're costing us potential races by going against him and everything else, and we're trying to win back the House in 22. So that remains to be seen. Now, shifting focus real quick, because like I said, it's going to be a short show today. The 2024 presidential hopefuls. Now, this is merely just my prediction, or I should say my projections. You have Senator Tim Scott, South Carolina. You have Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. You have South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. You have Senator Josh Hawley out of Missouri. You have former UN Secretary and former Governor Nikki Haley. You have former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. And you have Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton and former Speaker of the House John Boehner. These folks are your potential 2024 candidates for the presidency. Potential. And I say potential because it's remained to be seen. But if you pay attention to the media just a little bit, you will see these names are emerging as the rising star in the GOP. And this person here is thinking about putting together a committee and doing this and the third. So all of these people and the, I guess you could say the television show appearances that all of these people are suddenly making to get their names out there, to become household names once again. John Boehner just released a book. John Boehner's been quiet for a number of years, and he even came out kind of criticizing some of the things that the GOP has been doing over the years. George Bush, former president, he too has been a little critical of the GOP recently. Now, George Bush is not going to run for president, but if you stack the cards a little bit and pay attention, you look at who the allies are forming on the back burner, on the backside of things. So, my prediction is this. I see Kristi Noem potentially becoming a front runner along with Senator Tim Scott. And it could boil down to even Ron DeSantis out of Florida with a possible partnership with Donald Trump if he runs again in 24. Now, I said this a few months ago that I don't believe President Trump should run again. I wholeheartedly do not believe he should. He should groom whoever the nominee or the potential nominee would be. He should groom them. Help refine, fine-tune some things and be behind them, but he should not be part of the administration. I don't think he should. That's just my perspective, and the reason being is because we don't want what we saw for the last 4 years with whoever's administration. It's going to be just non-stop attack, and the focus will be away from the new president and focused on Trump being part of the administration. That is not what we want. So that is my advice to the GOP, to the national GOP, and to President Trump, that if you're going to get involved, it should be from a teach, coach, mentor capacity and not an active member of the administration, whether as a vice president or even as a president. So, but like I said, Kristi Noem, firecracker out of South Dakota. governor. She's been edging her way up the ladder of notoriety. So, like I said, I think she may have a possibility along with Tim Scott. If them two team up together, it's probably going to be a done deal for the Republican Party. And I mean in a good way, that they will have sealed the presidency for 2024. Not sure like who'll be the president and vice president. That could work that out. But if there's going to be a female male ticket like that, white woman, black man, we have a black woman and a white man right now. It could flip flop. It could be that way. But if they went with that ticket, I'm pretty sure we'll see a GOP-led presidency in 2024. Now, on the flip side, the other likely pairing would be a Pompeo and Scott presidency. That could be possible. I'm kind of discounting Josh Hawley right now. I'm kind of discounting him a little bit because he's young, number one, and he's really, I guess you could say, feeling his way through the Senate right now. So he's good. He's a great guy and all that. Nothing against him, but I think he's a little bit still trying to get around the DC politics a little bit. Tom Cotton, it's hard to say right now. It's hard to say. I will pull for him, but I will also, he kind of falls in that same category with Josh Hawley. That's just my opinion. Now, Ron DeSantis, being as young as he is, being a firecracker himself, I think he would have a great chance if him and Pompeo teamed up. So, those are things to look out for. Now, you're probably saying, what about Boehner? John Boehner, great guy. I actually liked him as Speaker of the House. He is a very, very prudent, pragmatic, straightforward kind of guy, like me. But I think he's out of the purview. He's out of the window. He's more establishment Republican type, and he will be out of the purview of the sentiment of the American people. Because remember, going back to the paradigm shift that America is going towards, he would not fit that mold. So I don't see, he may have a place in the administration, in whatever upcoming administration, kind of in one of the cabinets, sure. But to say that he will be kind of a front runner, I kind of doubt it. But that remains to be seen. So that is my projections and predictions for the 2024 presidency. And like I said, folks, pay attention to the shifting of American politics for the GOP side. Now, I can speak to the Democrat side a little bit. For the Democrats, they're pushing a government take-all approach, and it's wounding a lot of people. It's wounding a lot of people because they're pushing these unemployment packages. They're pushing these child care packages. The police reform thing is kind of out there, but not really a driving factor. But the economic stimulus package for the American people is quite an attractive one. Hindsight 2020, it will be detrimental. And I say that because you're pushing for people to stay home, do basic, what they call it, a basic income package to give everybody like $1,000 a month type of thing. Unless the government is going to look at driving down the cost of living. Watch this, folks. People are not paying attention to how the cost of living, inflation, rises every few years, and the wage earnings pretty much stay the same. Products are costing more and more. But for some reason, we're not looking at, let's drive down the cost of these things to be equitable to what people are earning. Allow them to have more money back in their pockets. Allow them to invest into companies, to products, services, whatever. We're not looking at that approach. We're not looking at how to reduce the cost. Yeah, there's talks of reducing the pharmaceutical industry, the medical costs. Yeah, there's talks of that. But I'm talking about the cost of everything else. Why does it cost $500,000 to buy a house when just 40 years ago it was only $10,000, $50,000? So, folks, we'll be right back.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com. You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Hey, welcome back. So, the state of the GOP. It's looking good, but grim in some areas. But I think there's going to be another catalyst, if you will, to help turn the tides for the Republican Party across the nation. Now, just recently, Florida passed a bill. Yeah, Florida just passed a bill, a social media deplatforming bill, to fine Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter if they were to deplatform a political candidate from that state. Now, for those that are statewide candidates, they will be fined $250,000, and those that are at the local level, running for local office, they'll be fined $25,000 if they were to be deplatformed. So, I think that is a great thing, and that is a fight against the suppression of free speech, especially in social media, which is a public utility at the end of the day. Yes, you can bring up the argument that these companies are privately owned. Technically, they're not, because they're publicly traded companies, so therefore they're on the stock market. People can buy into it, sell stocks and everything else, trade, and be an owner of the company. It is a public utility at the end of the day. But if the other states, if all 50 states passed similar laws, you ain't even got to go with the blue states. You can just go with all red states. If all the red states did that, you know how much money these social media companies would lose if they were to attack political candidates in that capacity. Now, granted, we're on this mantra of, banning hate speech and violating community standards. I'm still on account restriction myself, but I don't see anything out of the way. And I'm sure most political candidates who are running for office do not say anything out of the way. And what I mean by out of the way is something that may be incendiary or inflammatory to the point in which it will cause a stir to violence, to denigrating or marginalizing a community of some sort of whatever intersectionality spectrum we want to talk about. I don't think we're in that mode anymore. But I could be wrong. Now, if such person do exist, they should be handled accordingly because no group should be marginalized. I got that. However, when it comes to politics, we kind of throw that rule out the window a little bit. We have to disparage the other party or the other person a little bit to get that edge. I personally do not ascribe to such games. I tend to want to run on merit and run on character. And that is my personal platform, if you will, in running my campaign. Sure, there's going to be attacks and everything else. I will respond accordingly, but to return fire with attacks, I am trying to stay away from that because that really doesn't get anywhere at the end of the day. It's a distraction, a deflection, to me. So, that is the state of the GOP, ladies and gentlemen. I wholeheartedly think that we need to focus on looking and understanding the Trump platform. It's already formed for the most part, and look at survey the American people, survey those that's the constituencies out there, and what they view the direction of the party should be going at a national level, even at the local level, if you're running for local office. Because what we're failing to see is, number one, there is a growing fold of minorities migrating from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. Reason being, they don't like the socialist views because a lot of these migrants, a lot of the minorities, are migrants that came from such places that had these same ideological views. So they're like, oh, hell no. I talked to a few personally over the weekend down in when I was in Las Vegas last weekend. Argentinian and a Jewish woman. But folks, I'm gonna shut up now because, like I said, I gotta jump off of here and engage into something else for a little bit, and then on to something else. So, but thank you all for tuning in today. Appreciate you. You can pick up my book, The New You Now, Quick and Wisdom, on Amazon.com. You can follow me on Twitter from my deplatform. Subscribe to my YouTube channel under Randy Perham. You can follow me on MeWe, Parler, Instagram, Facebook, all of the above, all the platforms out there. You can go to tecntv.com once again and pick a show, follow it. Pick a show, follow it for a week, and let us know what you think about that show or all the shows. We have a variety of shows that come on throughout the day, throughout the evening, and on the weekends, and we also do movies. So, if you want to be a guest on the show, you can reach out to me, rperm@gmail.com. Tweet me, hit me up, however, and we can work something out. If you'd like to contribute to the show, you can do so through Cashapp, $, capital R, PURHAM, for US, same thing on PayPal. And if you want to support my campaign for Congress, you can go to www.rpermforus.com. Thank you all, and we will see you all on Friday. God willing, God bless. Take care.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.